Noel Clubb, and hello, welcome to Knockout TV show here on the Spanish Sports World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember to download Zingo TV app from respective iOS and Android app stores, as the app is absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave a comment because you want to hear from you. And of course, Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku and Roku sticks are also available on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. All right. Welcome to viewers to Knockout TV show here today. And let's introduce today's super duper knockout panel. Here we go. So first off, he is, of course, a 6-time provincial titles. He's actually an 8-time Canadian champion. He's also 1986 bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games. And of course, in 1986, he was a quarterfinalist in the World Championships. Please welcome Steve Beaupre to the show. Welcome, Steve. How you doing?
Thanks, Noel. Thanks for inviting me. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What's new with you, man? What's new with you these days?
Not much. Just we had the family over yesterday. So yeah, we had my daughter from Ottawa. She came down, and with the opening up now with this, so it was nice. We were able to have her birthday party and all the family over, so it was really good. Had a barbecue and camp or made a fire. So yeah, it was fun in the backyard. So it was awesome.
Very good. Yeah, things are finally opened up here in the province, here in the country. So yay, get to move on. Woohoo! Well, moving on, this amazing, cool panel here we got today. He's a former Canadian heavyweight boxer from North Preston, Nova Scotia. In 2002, he challenged for the WBA heavyweight title. He has a fight record 37-2-1 and 27 KOs. Please welcome Kirk Siren Johnson to the show. Welcome, Kirk. How you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. And that's Chiron.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Chiron.
Yeah. Everybody pronounces it that way. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be on the show. Just to talk to other people that were athletes, like I was an athlete also, and they found out that Steve was on the 92. I mean, not
That's
Steve,
right.
on the Olympic. I mean, I saw him in Italy, but the other guy was I forgot his name, but he was at the Olympics when I was at the Olympics. So it's an honor and to see all these guys here. Yeah,
Dominic.
Dominic Flane. Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, right on.
Yeah,
he's a regular show too, quite a lot. So yeah, very cool. Welcome. Yeah, welcome to the show, sir. Welcome. And next up on this cool panel, he is a Canadian professional light heavyweight boxer with a fight record of 10-0 and 5 KOs. Joins from his home in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Nick Fantauzzi to the show. Welcome, Nick. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing great, man. Things are looking up, like you guys said. Noel, I've been on your show before, and I appreciate you having me back.
Absolutely.
Kirk and Steve, I never talked to you guys before. Honored to be with you guys both on the show, and not single anybody out, but Kirk, I was a big fan of you and big follower of your career. I watched like tons of your fights, so it's good to get to meet you. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries, man.
Yeah, so the show. Just love what the show's having guys across Canada, really.
Yeah, it's
a
cool.
Team, professional level boxers, and meeting with all the guys, and have guys on the show and sharing your stories and your commentary and your insights. So yeah, it's all about having you guys all connect on the show here. So yeah, thanks guys for joining me here on the show. Fantastic. So first off, on some Canadian Olympic boxing news, of course, actually the Olympic team left today. The boxing team left today off to Tokyo, Japan for Olympic Games, which start officially Friday, July 23rd. Those want to wish, of course, Team Canada good luck and all the best.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, now Manny Bajol on the squad now increases our medal chances greatly. So that's a great win for us for Team Canada having Manny Bajol on the squad now. Yeah, definitely. So good luck, Team Canada. Go Team Canada, go. And wish you guys all the best in Tokyo.
Good luck, Team Canada.
Right. Yeah. Go Team Canada, go. Right on.
I hope they have a good draw. You always
exactly right. Good draw. That's
always depend on the draw.
Yeah,
and
that's one of the things that makes
international competition is the draw, right?
That is so well said, guys. Like that is so well put because people really appreciate the draw is really crucial. If you got a good draw, good things will happen. But you're right, get a bad draw, especially that first round. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well,
it changes everything. It's the game changing type stuff. So
it's important to have a good draw because of this. You might be, you probably could be the best athlete there, but if you
Yeah.
get the wrong draw at the wrong time, things could happen.
Mhm.
Okay, say if you get the absolute hardest fight of the tournament, and you
Yeah.
fight that first fight, you fight that you got the draw, you fight the hardest fight, the first fight. By the time you get to the third or fourth fight, your body's already worn down.
Yeah.
So if you have a few normal easy fights or normal fights, and then by the time you get to the gold medal round, if you got the hardest fight then, well, you got enough in your gas tank to deal with it. But if you're broke up from the first fight, even a guy that's really not on your level sometimes could have a good hustle fight against you and probably could out hustle you sometimes because your body's worn down some. So it
Very
makes it a
true.
little different. It makes it different when you have a good draw.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And just going back, like Mark Leduc, if you remember Mark Leduc,
Sure
he
Of
do.
was
course,
Yeah.
great,
yes,
Very well. Yeah.
an excellent technical fighter, beautiful
yes.
technical fighter, had a great draw,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And he
yes.
Sure
he
did.
was, and he made it right to the finals,
To
right?
the silver, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
he won a silver
yeah,
medal, losing to the Cuban in the finals. And no,
yeah,
just an amazing accomplishment that he
yes.
did. So, and I think this is the team that could do it too. They got a strong team,
We
even though
do.
it's a
Yeah.
small team.
We got Wyatt right now. Wyatt's our only male going for Canada in the welterweight division at 69 kg. In the female category, we have, of course, Mandy going in for 51 kg,
Okay.
Tamara, 75
Yeah.
kg, Miriam, 69 kg welterweight for female weight class, and Caroline, who's going to be fighting in the 57 kg weight class. So, yeah, that's our squad going over.
And they all have lots of international experience. So
They
that's
sure do. Yeah, they
so
sure
yeah,
do.
it's going to be
Now,
good. Hopefully they'll do good.
Yeah. So exactly.
now,
Hopefully we get draw well in Tokyo,
now.
Japan.
See, I must admit that felt a tiny bit different. I mean, I know that we have women boxing. I see it all the time, but
Yeah.
I remember when we were in Barcelona, Spain. I don't remember seeing women boxing there. And for you to mention a few women names, like I'm happy that we have evolved to that situation that
Yeah.
everybody has the opportunity and have a chance because we all know when women fight, it's a different type of fight. Like they have this different type of killer instinct. You know what I mean? It's always
I,
entertaining.
yeah.
So
And in the early days, Canada was dominant too, right? We were
They
dominant
really
in the
were.
women's
We were, yeah.
boxing,
right.
and now the world has caught up. So yeah, it's all open now, right?
Yes.
Everybody is strong right now. So yeah, but they always say, when you draw Canada, like in the '80s, I remember, if you drew Canada, they're in a fight for it,
Tough draw. Get Canada back then. Yeah.
So
I mean, even when I fought for the Canadian title 5 or 6 times when I won it or whatever, I had a few hard international fights, but man, but I was supposed to because of certain guy that fought. But whenever I fought against my own Canadians or what have you, man, it was torture. Like the fights were always harder. I don't know. It just seemed like we got some type of pride against each other that we're gonna give each other the best or whatever case can be. And you already know the rivalry between Canada and USA. Man, when our guys fight the USA guys, our guys come to fight. We're not gonna lay down for nobody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So drawing a Canadian is not an easy. Most times, not an easy thing for anybody. I mean, look at the '84 Olympics. Mark Breland and Wayne Gordon. You saw
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Gordon
wow,
almost knock Mark Breland out with that overhand right. So
yeah,
drawing a Canadian is never easy. Willie DeWitt and Henry Tillman.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And of course, Lennox Lewis and Terrell Biggs or Lennox Lewis and who did I forget who he won the Reddick Bowe when they fought in
Derek Bowe.
the
Yeah.
next Olympics.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So drawing a Canadian is always a hard thing. Hard fighters. People say, "Oh, Kirk, you can just go win that Canadian title." Like when I first turned pro, "Oh, Kirk, you just go win that Canadian title with your hands down." I said, "No." I said, every time I look at the Canadian title, okay, for instance, at the time that I was talking about it, Tom Leslie was there. My managers wanted me to get on a different side and go their route to get to the championship of the world, which, I made money and stuff like that. So that was all cool. I had to follow what they wanted me to follow. But at the same time, the Canadian title, me fighting for the Canadian title wouldn't have been easy because Me and Tom Leather, we sparred all the time. And trust me, when we sparred, the gym, everybody's supposed to do their
Everybody
bag work.
watched.
Stop.
Yeah,
Right?
We watched. I remember that.
Yeah. And me having the speed and the movement and the defense, sure, I looked pretty for a while there, but I don't know what it was. Why in the last round of every single sparring section except one, Tom always caught me with some type of left hook or overhand right. I would survive it, of course, but it was hell. And then when people say, "Oh, you win a Canadian title, no problem," I'm saying to myself, if Tom Levy don't look good against anybody else, for some reason his style and my style matches up too good together, meaning that fight would be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't looking at the Canadian title as an easy fight. I was looking at the Canadian title as, you know what? If me and him ever fight, because stylistically, that fight will be a hell fight. You know what I mean? But we never got to each other because I was on my side doing my thing. He was on his side doing the thing, and a couple of things happened wrong for him, and things are happening a little right for me on my side. So
Yeah.
But I enjoyed him. I mean, we had a lot of good work together, and we got along great. So I enjoyed him.
Oh, right on. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, Tom the Bomb Gillespie. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom the Bomb. Yeah.
Tom the Bomb. Well, boys, next topic, we'll get some boxing news around the world. You guys watched the fight there last night. We had Jermell Charlo.
Oh, yes.
You guys catch that fight last night?
Great fight.
But decision they made last night? It was pretty wild decision, I thought, in the end.
Yeah. Our TV was freezing up because we got this little box thing that you can get everything for free. So our TV was freezing up. So me and my father couldn't judge the fight like we always judge the fight. But from like me and him said, for scene, it was a close fight. You saw the scorecards, and also you saw the offline scorecard. So everybody had it very close. So it was a very entertaining fight. I hope you do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you Nick and Steve.
Castano, I think, like he had a good amateur career. I looked it up last night too. He beat Earl Spence. He beat Earl Spence as an amateur.
Right. That's right.
But I thought he took the fight. I thought he took the fight to him. That 10th round. That's the only one. Then the other, he was starting to back him up. Like he was getting backed up. But when he came forward, that whole first 9 rounds, coming forward, and then halfway through the 11th, he started coming forward again. But that was the only time that Jermell was coming forward was the 11th and the 10th and the 11th, the half of the 11th, right. And that's the only time. And he was doing good, right? And he stopped it.
Yeah.
Where was the body punching? No body punching. Nothing. I was like, okay, you got to slow this guy down. So throw some body punches. They threw. Yeah. I looked at the count. Charlo had only 14 body punches, and 17 for the other guy. That's only like one and a half. For Charlo, it was only one punch a round. So you got. I don't know what the corner's telling him. This guy, you want to try to slow this guy down? So throw some body shots. Get down. Stay. Make it a war. Use the body.
Yeah.
If you kill the body, the head dies.
Yeah, well, true that. But the guy had great defense. I mean, even though he was coming forward, he wasn't high. He's right. Great defense.
High, so the body was open. The body was open.
The body looked like it was open, but don't forget he hit Charlo with a couple of body shots too. So Charlo was kind of leery of getting hit to the body and also getting hit with some of the right hands that he didn't see. You know what I mean? So it was a good fight. But like you said, if Charlo would have probably jabbed more and threw the right hand more, like you said, body shots more, the fight could have changed. But after a fight, we always look at the fight and say, you know what, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the moment when things go down, it's a little more difficult sometimes.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
That's why we have to have. That's why we had to have rematches. Ali and Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier got him the first time. Then the next 2 times, Ali got him. Other than the third time when he almost died in the ring. You know what I mean? So Riddick Bowe, Holyfield. So you got to have rematches because anything can happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. How about you, Nick? What did you think of the fight last night?
I wish I would have watched it, but I couldn't. I had I had to take my mom out for dinner for her belated birthday because the restaurant's just
Exactly.
opened. She's been asking me for months, and as soon as they open, we're going to that restaurant for my birthday. You said you'd take me, so I.
But that's a great yet. Now that's even better than a fight. Taking your mother.
You're
for
right.
Definitely
Yeah.
worth it. Yes.
You're right.
And
Exactly.
and happy birthday
Take
to
your
your
mom out for
mother.
dinner.
Happy
Oh,
birthday to
thank
your mother, by the way.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
Happy
much.
birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, guys.
But
Make my
uh,
mama's boy Fantauzzi.
but you need to watch that fight though. It's a
I will. Yeah.
it's a good entertaining fight. You didn't just see a bunch of wild shots. You saw skill. You saw the change, like Steve was saying. You saw the change of the fight when Charlo started backing him up, and when he backed him up, it's like, you know what? It made it look so easy. He should have been doing this here earlier. Why didn't he do it earlier?
Yeah, that's what
But
I
at the
was.
same-
That's what I would exactly. I
Right.
would have been, and if I was in his corner, I was saying, "You got to back this guy up. You got
Yes.
to be first.
Yeah.
Back this guy up. Back this guy. Keep going forward."
But don't forget, his trainer did say that a few
Yeah.
times, you got to back him up. But apparently in certain rounds he wasn't ready to back him up. Whatever the case
Right.
may be.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes.
And I know it's styles, right? It's styles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Styles
Styles, yeah.
dictate.
Yeah.
You can't do it, right? But yeah, it was.
But
it was
once
good.
you see the fight again, I guarantee you he'll want to say, you know what, backing him up made the fight a little more easier for me. The next time, if they ever fight again, he'll work on backing the guy up. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Kirk. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a rematch after this one, too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. But
That's the
I was
rematch
off
after the split.
because it was a draw, but it was off.
Yeah.
I was off on the scores. They were totally, they were way off, right?
Yeah, what do you
Especially
think about the judging? What do you think about the judging in that fight last night? 'Cause I thought the judging was kind of, at times, I did think it was kind of odd. Some of the, well, I looked at the numbers.
I
Do
just
we think
thought
it
it
was-
was odd. It was off.
Yeah, you thought it was off too?
Yeah, one way, one the other way, and
Yeah.
then one each. So it was like, what's everybody watching here?
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
my take too. I seen the numbers. Like, well, that's kind of odd what I'm looking
Yeah.
at there.
So it was like, it was totally off. It was like, come on. 1 point either way, or a couple points either way.
Mhm.
But the way they had it, it was like, okay, something's
Yeah,
up here.
doesn't
Something's
make any
up.
sense. Yeah, I
So,
agree.
Maybe they want that rematch. I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to enforce it. That's what we're trying to enforce that rematch.
So, I don't know.
But
Let's make that happen. Yeah, very true. Well, in other fight news, of course, last weekend you had a bit of UFC news actually from last weekend. We had Conor McGregor face off against Dustin Poirier in that trilogy matchup, and of course, Conor McGregor broke his ankle unfortunately in that matchup. I was going to ask you guys catch that match, and what do you think about that matchup between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor last weekend?
it's a whenever you see an injury like that, it looks more better than it, I mean, don't get me wrong, the injury is a bad injury, but when you look at it happen that way, it just looks real graphic. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
me as an athlete that got injured many times before, I don't wish injuries on no athlete. But it just shows that injuries stop us in our tracks. I mean, even if you don't have injury that the public can see, we still get injured, and they stop you from doing the things that you really want to do, and that's the bottom line. I mean, we can go back to Mayweather and Pac-Man. I wanted Mayweather to win that fight. Now, this is my take on it. I feel that if Pac-Man was not injured, I feel that would have been a more dramatic fight, a more better fight, and I feel that Mayweather, he's the type of guy that goes off of reflexes and goes off of what the opponent does. I felt that he would have fought an even better fight than knowing that somebody came in there trying to kill him, like Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was trying to kill Mayweather, and Mayweather was able to counter him and catch him with key shots to get the fight dealt with. When Pac-Man was kind of timid and kind of holding back because of his injury, he wasn't pressing Mayweather the way he pressed Marquez or the way people used to press Mayweather. So it made it look like a safe fight on Mayweather's behalf and a safe fight on Pac-Man's behalf. So at the end of the fight, the crowd didn't get what they really wanted because one of the fighters wasn't fighting at his best. But had Pac-Man been fighting at his best, it would have brought the best out of Mayweather also. So when you're injured, sometimes the injury holds back from the crowd, from the fans also. It takes from the fans too when you're injured.
Absolutely.
But
I mean, that's part of style too, right? It's part of style to
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
But I think too is like kicking with the legs, man.
Yeah.
You're going. I mean, I just think about it. Like it's bone on bone. If you hit,
Yes.
Bone on bone
hit somebody,
contact.
and it's
Wrong
gonna,
way.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Gonna crack. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. That's
When
just my thought, but it is, yeah. And he probably didn't feel it because the adrenaline's up,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, holy shit,
Yeah,
my
move.
leg, something's wrong with my leg, right? And then it sunk in, and he had to quit. It's unfortunate, but
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah, you don't want kind of like what Kirk says. You don't want to see another fighter get injured or anything like
No.
that.
Never. Not
Correct.
in
Yeah,
that.
we'll
Yeah.
feel the same way about that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the about Joe Rogan interviewing Conor McGregor when he's down in the? What do you guys think about that? I thought that was kind of unique situation where he's waiting for medical
That's
attention.
crazy.
He's there. He's being interviewed by Joe Rogan.
I love it because it's right after the fight he's gonna explain, he's gonna be himself, right?
Yes, he will be.
So you want
I think Joe Rogan I think he got threatened because he said, "I'm never interviewing another fighter after they're concussed. I'm not doing it anymore." And now it seems like he's getting fighters when they're most vulnerable. And now he's like, he's in now. So I think that's he must have got threatened that you're interviewing everyone.
That's very likely. Very likely.
Conor showed a lot of. I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead there, Kirk.
He still showed a lot of energy and a lot of drive after the injury. And even though it was a horrible injury, when some of my guys, my homeboys looked at it, my homeboys said, "You know what? I was feeling so sorry for Conor McGregor when he got injured." But after the interview, everybody was saying, "You know what? The way he interviewed, it just made me feel like in the future he's gonna be okay because he still has that energy and that cockiness about himself." So, it just gave the feeling of I'll be okay after all this here. You know what I mean? So that's the good thing about that situation.
But I always worry about the career-ending injury with that, right? So is he going to be able to come back and be the same Conor McGregor? I mean, he probably will be because Conor's Conor, right? But yeah, he's just I wish the fight would have went longer and he didn't get injured.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a good match.
But I would say, But I say if anyone were to ask me, would he be the same? I would say, he would be the same, but could be a little different, a little better in that situation. Once he heals the right way, because it's a broken bone, and one thing about a bones will heal stronger than it did before. So, in my mind, he will be the same, but at the same time, it's competition out there that is catching on to Conor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plus,
you know what I mean? I do. Yeah. Plus, when you're Conor's shoes, you have to deal with that psychological issue of being injured before, striking there again. Is it going to hurt again? I mean, is it going to break on me again? Like, you have those worries now in the back of your mind whenever you strike again, training wise or sparring or fighting.
He's going to have that for a second because don't forget, I fought Javier Mora. It was one of my fights that is called a no decision. They ruled a TKO at first, but the referee didn't see what happened. The referee was asking the judges around the table what happened, and we went to trial over in Los Angeles, and they showed the scorecard, and I was winning on all the scorecards. In the 7th round, I was winning by unanimous decision, and all they did was show what happened, like how I went down, and how I went down was he stepped on my foot by mistake. And I tried to pull my foot away, and I went down, and I broke my right knee. Right away, they made a decision. They said we don't have to see no more. This should not be a TKO loss on Kirk Johnson record. And he said, wasn't because of us being in Los Angeles. Any other state would have ruled it a technical unanimous decision for me. But because it's LA, the best we can do is give you a no contest, which is not a loss. So you're better with a no contest. So they made that fight a no contest, which, hey, because of the law, I was satisfied with that, but it should have been a decision. But so for the first couple of months, after I put my knee back together and all that stuff, I was thinking that I'm going to have a limp because I have a cousin who had bad knees all his life, and I thought I was going to have a limp, this, that, and other. But you know what? For my particular injury, because I completely tore my patella tendon, they sewed it back together. Therapy was hell. Like therapy, you know what? I gave up on therapy a couple of times, and I had to go back. But anyway, after all that, I'm at the stage right now. Well, probably about 5 or 6 months later, I felt when I was sparring, I fell down a couple of times. Like every time I fell down, I was laid out on the ground saying, "Oh God, I probably hurt myself." So after about falling down about 6 or 7 times and realizing that the knee is still there, that everything is still intact, trust me, I was back. When I fell down again, I didn't care. I got back up and started sparring again or whatever. So he will go through a little mental thing at first, early, because that's where human beings, right? But after a while, after realizing every time he went down or every time he got grabbed that he's okay and that it's stronger than it was before, he'll be okay if he does the proper things. He'll be okay.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
That's the essential phrase right there. Doing the right things. Yeah. During his recovery.
And that's what Steve is concerned about, is him doing the right thing.
Yeah. Make sure it's healed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I broke my right hand in my 8th fight. I broke my knuckle. In, three different places I broke in the second round. Well, I broke in the second round, and I kept fighting with the broken hand, kept throwing it. But it's not like your hand, when it hardens up and it's like a cast, you throw it. My knuckle was cracked in 3 different places. So the hardest thing about, I have a pretty high tolerance for pain, but the therapy, that's why I know some people, after they break their hand, it's like this the rest of their life.
Yes.
My therapist would like push my finger down. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Oh yeah, and I broke mine too.
I can see why people don't want to do the therapy, and they're like this the rest of their life, because I have a really high tolerance, but this guy would like do this and this. I wanted to punch him.
I did the same for a shoulder injury. Oh my God, I was just in pain. I was just almost crying.
Yeah.
The pain was, but it felt better. I could lift my arm up higher every time I had the therapy, right? So it was like
it took me a year. My next fight, I had to I said I'm gonna knock this guy out. In my 9th fight, I'm gonna knock him out with the right hand. I did, but it took me like, even going into that fight, I went into that fight scared I was gonna break it again. Because even when I would hit it with 16-ounce gloves, I felt like it hurt.
Yes.
But it took like a year. And my mind, too, was like pulling me back from hitting my hardest.
Yes, of course.
The first 3 rounds were the worst 3 rounds I've ever boxed in my life, because I was fighting not to break my hand.
Yes.
So it's just so concerned, so worried. Yeah.
And
I got hit whatever.
Right. And with all that being said, once you got the report from the doctors probably told you that bone-wise, you're 100% healed, right? That's what they told you, right?
After a while, yeah. It took a while.
Yeah. So after the doctors told me I was healed 100%, then it's the trust issue that I have with myself. Like certain pains and discomfort that you have, I'm not used to those feelings and those discomforts. So I had to learn how to trust myself all over again. So once you get through that, so after I fell a couple of times or hit my hand a couple of times and realized that I didn't break it or whatever, and that I was good, it's like, you know what, man, a little discomfort is not going to kill me. I'm just going to go ahead. And once I went ahead with it, I was okay. So, some people get over it a little quicker than others, and some people don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But therapy kills. But no, thank God for therapy. First and foremost, thank God for therapy. Thank God that nowadays the medical teams know that therapy makes everybody heals much faster, no matter what the situation. Even if you had a heart attack, the same day you have a operation, they got you walking around. Because years ago they didn't do that. They had you laying down. A pregnant woman, after they have a baby, they had them in the hospital for 7 straight days. But years later, when my wife was pregnant, 3 days later, she wanted to come home and everything was fine. So, medical things have gotten better, have improved. And even though therapy is, oh my goodness, Nick, every time I think about therapy, it hurts me. But at the same right. But at the same time, but at the same time, if you want to get close, get back to what you used to be, you got to do therapy and complete therapy. That's the bottom line.
100%.
Yeah.
Good.
My hand was like that.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm good to go.
Yes.
Right on.
But he's
Normal
my
again.
friend, he's my chiropractor, my physio. This guy, and my fascial stress therapist. They both worked on my hand. They're my friends,
Right.
but I was so angry when they were doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah.
thought I was tough, but that showed me I wasn't tough.
It's a whole other level of toughness right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear you.
It's a different type of pain. Yes. It's a different type of pain. People say, well, oh Kirk, you're used to getting hit. Actually, I'm not used to getting hit because if you watch my whole career, I only got hit probably 2 or 3 times in my life. Klitschko, Oleg Maskayev, and this other guy got wobbled and I came back and ended up winning the fight. But I was never a punching bag as a fighter. So I tell people all the time, no, I ain't really used to getting hit because that's the thing about me. One thing that people always knew is that Kirk don't really get hit a whole lot. And I thank God that he gave me some type of good defense over the years because I guess to stop injuries and I guess I talk pretty decent or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
good shape,
Hey,
man.
I thank God for all that.
Didn't you fight
Yeah.
Felix
Yes,
Savon? Didn't you fight Felix Savon?
I fought him twice.
Yeah,
I
twice.
fought the first time I fought him at the 91 World Championships. Remember, I got this. I don't know if you were there, but I got disqualified
Oh,
in
yeah?
the second
Look,
round.
you-
Remember, I was holding my head too low.
Yeah.
I was holding my head too low, and I got disqualified. But when I got home in Canada, my father saw the fight, and I thought that my father was gonna say I did good because I moved all around. Because the instruction were, you got to move, Kirk. You got to move. Don't fight him. Move. And I'm not lying. This was the instructions. Taylor Gordon, a great coach, he said, you got to move. You got to move. So nobody wanted me to get knocked out because Felix Savon had the reputation of knocking people out. So I moved in that fight. And a couple of times I threw back. And when I threw back a couple of times, everybody was surprised and I was looking good, but then I got disqualified for keeping my head down too low. Cool. We fought again 3 months before Barcelona, Spain. And even the American team, one guy, I forget the guy's name. He was a southpaw. Everybody was saying after me and Savon fought that time, everybody said, you're the only guy that can compete with him. You're the only guy that got the chance to beat him because we went toe to toe, fought hard, and the fight was stopped 15 seconds before the fight was over. I had a cut. And, as an amateur, I guess when you get a cut, they'll stop it. But that was the only reason they stopped because of the cut. He was winning the fight, but the fight was so good, everybody was impressed on what I did. And that's what everybody said. Everybody said, yeah, you get to Olympics. That's the fight to have there. But unfortunately, we didn't make it to each other. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. He was on his side and I was on my side, and hurt my hand in my first fight. Even though I stopped the guy, I hurt my hand the first fight. The second fight, I felt that one. A lot of other people felt that one. But at the same time, you know what? Had I been the way, and this ain't no excuse, but had I been the way I should have been and could have been or whatever, I wouldn't have tired out that way. I had no energy, no carbohydrates, no energy. I was in magnificent shape. But when you dry out, and Nick, as a light heavyweight, you have to make weight, right? So all about not eating, not having enough food sometime, right? Because you got to make weight. So, if health, know what the health thing is and know what your real weight's supposed to be, it can be a better situation for you because years later, my father realized that, you know what? He had amateur fighters too. One of the amateur fighters he had is Consteel Clayton. My father made sure that they didn't make the same mistake I made. Like my father wouldn't let them fight under their weight. Like I was fighting under my weight, and that was supposed to be a good thing back then. But my father never made them or have them thinking that the lighter you are, the better it is. If you're light, but your body is bigger than the other person's body, but if you have no energy, how are you gonna beat that guy? Nick, I wouldn't be able to beat. I wouldn't be able to outstrength you if I'm drying out because I wouldn't have the energy.
That's right. Common sense.
And you know something about Drano? Do you Nick, cutting weight and making weight, right?
To be honest, not really, because I fight as an amateur, I fought heavyweights or 201. But as a pro,
so you're great. You're great.
Yeah, but as a pro, I make light heavyweight no problem. Like I'm usually 173, 174, like too light for my weigh-ins, but I'm 6'3".
Right. Right.
And I could easily go down to 168 easily. But I said to myself,
okay, you're good. You're good.
yeah, I said to myself, I'm big and I'm strong at light heavyweight. I've never been pushed around, even in sparring against guys 30 pounds bigger. So
right,
I'm comfortable 175.
Right.
Yeah, right
You're
on.
good. Yeah.
That's just like when I fought at 119, my last national championship. Yeah, I walked around 117. Went to tournaments, didn't have to sweat. No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Not like Dom. Dom had to lose weight. He was the 106 pounder.
Yeah.
So, it was awesome.
I find
and I should have did that. And that's what we kind of. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No problem at all.
I think people these days now worry about who's the bigger guy, and I want to be bigger than that guy. That means they're going to beat him, and it doesn't work like that. Like maybe if there's a bigger weight, like the weight division's a bigger, weight cap, but I just find worry about the fight, worry about your skills. I don't even stress making weight, so I go into a fight happy. I'm not stressed when you're stressed weight.
Out.
That's why I don't even want to. Even I know I could easily do 168, but I just don't bother because I'm strong.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, my thing was, growing up looking at Ali, growing up looking at Larry Holmes. Those guys were 209 pounds, 210 pounds, 205 pounds. So me, I was 210, walking around at 210 pounds since I was 16, 17, or 15. But being a heavyweight, I thought that if I be the same weight that Ali was or same weight that Larry Holmes was, well, then I'm the man. But unfortunately, if my body is just technically bigger than those guys' bodies, I can't make the same weight. I saw Larry Holmes after I fought John Ruiz for the world title. I was still in good shape. I saw him in Foot Lockers in Manhattan. Me and my buddies.
Oh yeah.
Larry Holmes he's an inch taller than me, but my buddy was saying, "Wow, Kirk, like you're bigger than Larry. Like you're way bigger than Larry Holmes." I said, "No, he's taller." They said, "Yeah, but Larry Holmes is that wide, and I'm that wide. You know what I mean? And I'm a bigger person, and I take size 15, and my hands are bigger than his hands. You know what I mean? So
good point.
Yeah. So, but everybody wasn't looking at that part. Everybody was looking at the fact that I'm 6'2", and everybody who's 6'2" is this size and this weight. So you got to be the same weight. But everybody weight is not the same because nobody, since I've been fighting, my coach Curtis Coates, who passed on, said no, he never saw nobody, no heavyweight in his life, Sonny Liston or anybody, with a back as wide as my back. Nobody. And years later, you know what? Years later, I got to admit the truth. Say it again.
Curtis was a legend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right on.
Yes.
Very good.
So the Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah.
What did you guys take on that?
Well, you mean the match as far as with because they got basically canceled for now, right? They got canceled out.
October 8th or 9th. The new date was already made.
I have a theory, and I think you guys might laugh at me. I think I might be on the computer too much or something. But my theory is that Tyson Fury probably didn't even get COVID, and he just wants to mess with Wilder because Wilder is probably so pumped up and he's trying to be everything perfect for this fight. So I think this might sound for me to say, but I think he purposely is doing this to make Wilder do this kind of stuff with his head, get into his head. Call me crazy.
Good one. No, that's not
crazy at all.
No.
No,
that's
only boxers can think like that.
Yeah.
That's not crazy at all.
That's not crazy.
No, that's not crazy at all.
No.
Now that's a I never thought about that, and that's a great theory. That's a great point. Now, this is a point that I'm saying, and this is a point that I kind of would say if it goes this way, I would say he should do it this way. Anyway, so the point I'm saying, I remember Tyson Fury saying that this particular fight coming up, he might weigh in closer to 300 pounds. That's what he said. If you look on YouTube, he'll say that I'm going to come in closer to 300 pounds and I'm going to stop him quicker than I did the second fight. Because the second fight, it was 273.
Yeah.
In my mind, in order for him to say that, I would say that Tyson Fury weight wasn't as good as he wanted to be at that point in time. So he's letting people know ahead of time that maybe I'm going to be 10 pounds heavier instead of 273. I'm going to be 283 this time, but I'm still going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somewhere during training camp, he realized that things weren't going exactly the way it was supposed to go for him.
Yeah.
And the way I'm talking, I'm telling you, I don't have a problem with this at all. But anyway, he felt that he needed more time to train and more time to get ready the way he needed to get ready. Well, let me just tell you, if he faked the COVID for the public, for the satisfy the public, that's one thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But us as boxers, we go through a lot of trauma. We put our bodies through a whole lot, and we try to make these dates. Sometimes we can't really get ready for these dates, but we try our best to get ready for these dates. If we lose a fight and we tell the fans what really happened, nobody wants to hear what a fighter has to say. You know what they're going to say? He's making an excuse. He's making an excuse. He just didn't train for the fight, which is not true. Well, for my situation, it was never true. And for most boxers I know, it was never true. The bottom line is, normally, I would say if Tyson used the excuse of faking the COVID, that's cool. He's the A side. He beat Deontay Wilder the first time, as far as I'm concerned, and he beat Deontay Wilder the second time. Now, both times, the first time he went to USA, the second time he went to USA, the third time he was going to USA. So you're fighting right in Wilder's backyard. You're giving them everything they want. So now that I got the COVID, you're telling me that I can't cancel the fight. Man, cancel the fight. If he needs more time to train, do that, because at the end of the day, the main thing is this: when they do fight, if Tyson Fury is ready the way he needs to be ready, once he beat Deontay Wilder the third time, no matter all the stuff that's on YouTube, because I saw that, all the stuff that's on YouTube, none of that's going to matter once Tyson Fury beats him this time around. You know, you even have people talking about, oh, the glove thing. Man, don't. I fought all my life. Don't tell me about no glove. And don't tell me about what's the other excuse? The suit.
Oh, the armor, right. That was true. That's true. The armor was like to wear him down, make him tired.
That's terrible. That's a terrible excuse.
Totally bad.
But guess what? If any of us would have made them type of excuses, it would have been totally different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the Americans condone that type of excuse, or people. I hear a lot of people on YouTube going, "Yep, Tyson Fury cheated. Yep, Tyson Fury did it." The bottom line is, if Tyson Fury used that as a way of getting more time for the fight, right? You're right for that, Tyson Fury. Do that and come back and fight a great fight. Don't forget Mayweather and Chavez. I'm not Chavez. The guy that knocked out Pac-Man. What's his name again? Marquez.
Oh, Marquez.
The first time him and Mayweather were going to fight, Mayweather said he hurt his rib.
Yeah.
Mayweather was supposed to weigh in at 144 pounds, and he hurt his rib. I don't think Mayweather hurt his rib, because Mayweather don't get hit like that. I think maybe Mayweather was training and his weight wasn't down at the time at the right weight, probably 149 pounds, and he wanted more time. So he weighed in 146, 2 pounds over what they signed for. Mayweather gave him $200,000 extra, like $100,000 per pound, and Mayweather made $25 million that fight. Mayweather said this: "Well, Marquez is good. He got a $200,000 extra for the fight." And the guy said, "Well, Mayweather, you didn't make the weight." Mayweather said, "Yes, I did. The welterweight weight limit is 147. I weighed in at 146. The commentator said, but you were supposed to weigh 144. Mayweather said, I fight at welterweight. He's fighting for my welterweight world title. So we're fighting for the welterweight world title. Talk to my managers about anything else. So to me, Mayweather took the extra time to get more ready for the Marquez fight. And when Mayweather dominated Marquez, nobody talks about it no more. Like, they ain't talking about his rib. They're not talking about Mayweather made an excuse. He beat him. So to me, they all talking about Tyson Fury's gloves, talking about all these excuses. Once Tyson Fury finally beats Deontay Wilder for the last time, you're not going to hear no more about the situation. You're right. I didn't want to say that word, but shut him up. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right, though. Exactly. You can completely close that chapter completely. Yeah, I agree with you.
I just don't get it.
Still too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I just don't get the excuses that Wilder made, just those, and then he said his trainer poisoned him and all this. Like, how can you, as an athlete, even make these excuses and be able to talk and still be boisterous and act like you're the best, but you make all these excuses? I think it's pathetic. Like, I can't stand the guy.
I forgot that excuse about.
Yeah.
Now I know Mark Breland on a personal base. Mark Breland was just doing his job. He didn't poison that man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do all that. He's giving him instructions. And look at the fight. When Mark Breland stopped the fight, he stopped the fight at the right time. You know what? I could have stopped the fight a couple rounds earlier if you really want to be serious about it. I would rather get stopped too soon rather than too late. Check this out. The Klitschko fight, when I fought Klitschko at the press conference, all the reporters said, Kirk Johnson, we think the fight will stop too early. How do you feel about the fight? They asked me. I said, well, me as a fighter, yes, I wanted to go on. I wasn't hurt bad at all. I was hurt more in the Oleg Moskaev fight than the Klitschko fight. And I said, yes, I could have went on. And I only had 6 seconds left. My trainers would have told me a different strategy, but I knew a different strategy would survive and hold. But Arthur Canty, I said he's a great referee. And I said, you know what? I will never doubt his decision to stop the fight. I would rather be stopped too early than stopped too late. Because he stopped me late, because he stopped me too early, or whatever you want to call it, okay? Because he stopped the fight early or whatever. Do you realize that the confidence, like I wasn't down like this. So because I wasn't down like that, I had the confidence all my life that I could do better. But if I'd have been out like this, maybe I wouldn't have had the confidence. So to Arthur McKenty Jr., that was a good stoppage for me. I didn't need to get all knocked all around and knocked out of my senses. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder saying he wanted to go out on his shield. What if going out on your shield, he'd have been knocked unconscious. He'd have been having a different argument, and you know what he would have done? He still would have fired Mark Breland. He would have said, oh, you let me get knocked out. Cold. You know what I mean? Yeah, so.
Coach can't win.
No. He was getting fired. Yeah, he wasn't going to win. Like, so, okay, Nick, what do you think, Nick? Do you think that if Mark Breland would have stopped it too late, he still would have got fired probably?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. So he wouldn't be. He can't win that.
He's the way he is. It's like I'm so good. It's nobody else. It's nobody's. Sorry, it's only other people's fault. It's not my fault. He's not taking accountability, right?
Yeah.
No accountability at all. Yeah.
We all make mistakes, but he ain't never said anything. Every. Now, when they talk about excuses. These excuses should be shot down. I'm just surprised that on YouTube, the internet, and even on camera, that a lot of people are with Deontay Wilder with the gloves. Like a lot of people making cases about the gloves. Oh no, the gloves are not right. Man, get out of here. They never did anything to them gloves. The only thing that went wrong with the glove was Tyson Fury's hands was thrown out like bullets. You know what I mean? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
People started saying that. When the gloves pulled up, the knuckles ended up hurt. Kirk, you're all of us. We can punch. We're not gonna hurt somebody because our knuckles go like this. You're not gonna stop the guy.
No, not at all.
You gotta have the glove and
you got to have the glove straight and strong in order to knock a man cold. When they were saying that Deontay Wilder, that Tyson Fury was slapping him. Well, slap ain't gonna hurt. Now ain't gonna knock you out. Whatever. But Tyson Fury is not concerned about that. He's just concerned. He took the extra time that he needed. Because maybe he did fake the COVID, but what I'm saying to you this here. Now let me go back to me again. If you fake the COVID, that's cool. Mayweather faked, father concern, that wasn't a rib injury, but cool. If Pac-Man would have took advantage of his injury and say, you know what, I can't fight Mayweather right at this time. I'll fight him 3 months later. The whole world still would have bought that fight and would have been even more anxious for that fight. Now, and this is no excuse. before I fought Klitschko, 5 months earlier, my daughter passed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody went out, but my trainers and managers wanted me in camp. They said they're gonna sue me $1 million if I don't fight the fight.
Yeah,
I only got $2 million. Why would I want you to take my $1 million from me? Don't forget, I was supposed to fight Lennox Lewis the 6 months before that. I tore my pec. The doctor told me that your pec is not healed. You need more time and you need therapy to heal your pec. So when I went in training camp, mentally I was done. I was injured, but physically I still was injured too. I needed way more time to train. I never had the time, but number wise, like numbers as far as the way I ran, when I ran the 4 miles, I never ran 4 miles under 31 minutes. But for that training camp, I was running 4 miles at 28 minutes. I never ran 3 miles under 22 minutes. But for that training camp, I ran 3 miles at 20 minutes and 45 seconds, stuff like that. So mileage wise, I ran better than I ever ran my whole life.
Yeah.
I was on weight training too. Weight training, instead of we used to do 10 to 15 reps. In this camp, we were doing 15 to 20 reps. Normally, I don't knock out sparring partners or knock them down in training camp. I sent like 4 sparring partners back home, knocked a couple of sparring partners down, and beating them all up. And even the sparring partners that sparred me previously, they were saying, "This is the best I ever saw you. You're gonna knock Klitschko out." So Lou Duver and Curtis, they said, "Kirk, put him in a fight." They said, "Put Klitschko in a fight." In my mind, I needed more time. I was telling the managers, I don't want to fight the fight. I need more time. I need more time. I said it 10 times, but the last time I said, you know what? I'm going to go knock him out. I'm going to train my butt off. And I trained so hard, but check it out. Now, Nick, Steve, you guys should know this part. So I trained relentlessly. Do you realize the week before the fight, when I got in that locker room, guess what? My body's tired.
Overtrained.
Gotcha. Yeah.
How could I overtrain and my weight ain't what I want it to be? But check it out. So now when I weigh on a scale, we weigh outside of Madison Square Garden December 6th. Don't forget that, outside. So it's minus whatever. So I have 2 jogging suits on and I take size 15, my Snickers. So I weighed 260 with everything on. So when I went back to the hotel, when I took everything off, I weighed 248. Don't get me wrong, that's still heavy. That's still 5 pounds heavier than when I fought Lou Savarese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my best performances. But what I'm saying is, everybody was trying to say, it's the weight, it's the weight. No, it wasn't the weight. Guess what it was? Me fighting the wrong strategy and getting caught too early. Tim Weatherspoon said to me after the fight, he said in the lobby of Madison Square Garden, Tim Weatherspoon said, "Kirk, I watched you train in Philly." He said, "Man, you had great defense." He said, "What happened?" He said, "You had no defense in the fight. You were just throwing, and Klitschko was just catching you." He said, "Sooner or later, you're going to go because Klitschko is a good puncher like that." He said, "Your strategy wasn't good, and your defense was horrible." And he said it in a respectful way, of course. And when I look at the fight, that's what I got to say. As far as sparring, I got my sparring tapes right now. If you look at the sparring tapes, you would say, you know what? Kirk could go 10 rounds, 10 and 12 rounds, no problem at all. So the fight only went a round and a half. I didn't get tired in the fight. I got clipped. Bottom line. No defense, and the strategy was wrong. You guys yourself, let me get that last example and I'll stop talking.
It's so good.
So when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Thomas Hearns, right?
Yeah.
You guys as fighters and coaches, whatever you want to be, would you give Sugar Ray Leonard the advice, go pit Thomas Hearns in a war or box Thomas Hearns? What would you say?
Boxing.
Yeah, boxing.
Box him if I was injured. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Not stand toe to toe like he did.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
With Marvin Hagler, you would tell him to go toe to toe because he's a bigger, stronger man than Hearns, right? But with Sugar Ray Leonard, if Sugar Ray Leonard get caught by Thomas Hearns the right way, he's going to sleep, right? So he had to box. So it's the same thing. I took a good shot before, but guess what? Some shots that you take, you ain't gonna be able to take and recover. The bottom line is, me fighting Klitschko wasn't about putting him in a war. Me fighting Klitschko was about boxing, being elusive, and fighting. everybody got excuses for us. The excuse, Kirk was too fat, that's why Kirk lost the fight. No. I got hit, and he happened to be the better man that night. And I got it. Or do you want me to take the easy way out and say yes, you're all right? No, the real way is that night he was the better man, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And I got caught early. If I wouldn't have got caught early, I would have went on. When James Toney was 40 pounds heavier when he fought John Maurice, he fought a masterpiece fight because he still remembered that he needed to fight John Maurice with great defense. It wasn't about he was fat. He was way fatter than I was, but he fought with great defense, and that was the key. Anthony Joshua, what did they say? He lost to Ruiz because he was too much like a bodybuilder. Yeah. But yet when Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko, he was 3 pounds heavier. He was 251 when he fought Klitschko, and he beat Klitschko, but he just got caught when he fought Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes when you get caught, them the things that happen. So
exactly, that's boxing, right?
Yeah,
that's boxing never know. With the big boys.
Yes, sir. Yes,
exactly. Boxing with the big boys.
You can be out.
Yeah. And even the small guys can get old too. I mean,
oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
If you throw the perfect punch.
Yeah.
So.
We had a few of those on the show so far, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, hey guys, we're out of time already, but hey, it's a great pleasure having you guys on. Great guys. Great conversation with, of course, Kirk, Steve, Nick. Thanks, guys, for joining me here on the show today.
I appreciate you guys, and great seeing you guys. And Nick, I will be following you. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on YouTube right now and look at a few of your fights or whatever. And awesome. You stay determined. And when it's too hard for everybody else, you know it's just right for you. You know that, right?
You're right. Thank you, man.
I don't care.
I gotta save my face a little bit. My worst fights are the ones on YouTube.
but you know that I know skill, meaning it might be your worst fight, but I'll be able to see sparks of the real skill that you have.
Right on.
So I'm a fighter too. There's a few fights on YouTube that I hate for people to see. But at the same, let me tell you one fight before you guys go that I hate people to see.
Sure.
Not just the Klitschko fight, not just that one. One that I hate, the Oleg Maskaev fight. I hate that fight. The only thing that looked good in the Oleg Maskaev fight is that I knocked him out the ring. But other than that, if you see the way I was fighting before that, I hate that fight. Yeah. I don't like when people watch that fight. But if you ever look at the fight, compare that fight to me fighting Lou Savarese, you'll see I'm fighting Lou Savarese in a better way. But when I fought Oleg Maskaev, it wasn't a good fight. I'm thankful. I don't want to say I was lucky, but I'm thankful that I caught him when I caught him. Because if I didn't, it was over for me.
Kirk, was it Styles? It
was Styles. Like I couldn't aim into his style, and you won't believe this. That fight also, I was overtrained.
Is that right?
I focused on looking good. That was the best my body ever looked. I was focused on looking good rather than fighting good. Now, when I fought Louis Savarese, it was more about looking good in the ring rather than looking like a bodybuilder, if you want to say. You know what I mean? If you look at both the fights back to back, you'll see what I'm talking about. When I fought Savarese, I was able to move and be me. But when I fought Oleg Maskaev, even before he threw a punch, I was trying too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
but I knew I was overtrained in the locker room. In the locker room, I was tired for no reason at all. So that's the reason why I was fighting that way. But anyway, you guys, it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. I apologize for last week, but we made it up this week.
We made it real good today, man. So don't worry.
Yes, sir.
This is great. No, fantastic, guys. No, well put.
And Nick, stay determined. Stay determined.
Stay determined. Don't overtrain kids. There you go.
That's just as bad as undertrained. No, that's worse than undertraining.
It's better to be undertrained because you can rise to the occasion.
You can rest up and get energy, but overtrain you can't rest and get energy. Yes.
Yeah. When you go over that hump, that it's too hard to come back.
But why do we have to? But why do we have to find that out by experience rather than?
Yeah, no kidding. I gave some more helpful advice on that topic. Yeah. It would be very beneficial.
But people, Curtis told me that. George Benton told me that. Ted Ellis told me that.
Yeah.
And Teddy said, because you won't listen. Okay, let me tell you this story before I go.
You're on.
Teddy Atlas,
Well,
right
yeah.
on.
Okay. So one morning we're going running. So Teddy wanted me to run instead of 5 days a week like I did. He wanted me to run 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. He said, because I don't want you running on Saturdays. So Saturday morning come, I'm in New Jersey at the condominium, whatever. I get ready to go running. I go downstairs with my running gear on. And me and my conditioning coach, guess who's down in the lobby looking and waiting for me? Teddy Ellis. Teddy Ellis lived 45 minutes away from us, right? He never ever went to see if he was running, but he knew. He said, I know you like to run a lot or whatever. He said,
that's amazing.
The first week of training, he said all fighters does this. They're trying to do their best. So when Saturday morning come, so me and my conditioning coach were ready to run. We downstairs, I'm all warmed up, and we were walking up the door. So when I left the door, whatever, Teddy yelled, yo, I looked back, and guess what? Teddy was sitting right there on the sofa waiting. He said, go back upstairs. You're not training. You're not running this morning. I said, but why are you doing this here? I said, shouldn't you want a fighter to run? He said, yeah. He said, the problem with North American fighters, 80% of North American fighters he found overtrained. And then when they get in the ring and be tired, guess what the fans say? He didn't train enough.
Right.
Because overtraining for us looks to the fans really that we didn't train at all. You know what I mean? So
they look sluggish.
Yeah. Oh, very. It's a horrible feeling. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, hey, man, that's great. Great, guys. So, guys, hopefully, see you guys real soon back on the show. Hopefully,
thank you very much,
Steve and Nick. Great guys. Great.
Steve, Nick, no, thank you very much. I enjoyed you guys.
Right on.
You know, with the pandemic, you're just glad to see people that you hadn't seen for a long time. Steve and glad to meet you, Nick, and everything is great, and I'm glad that because I was, you know what, I when you text me on Instagram, I had 5:00 Toronto time Saturday, so I thought I missed it. I can't lie.
Gotcha.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I thought I missed it. So then when I look back to my phone, you said 5:00 Toronto time Sunday. I was so happy. Yeah.
Well, so am I.
Yeah. So to be a no-show one time, you got an excuse. But to be a no-show twice, oh yeah, Kirk's not interested in being on this show. And yes, I am interested in being on this show. So
right on, man.
Well, you got a new follower. You have a new supporter of this show. So I'll be watching this show.
Right on. Very good. Well, thanks, Kirk. And again,
like I said, you guys take care.
Awesome.
And God bless you.
Take care.
And Nick, go get him. And like I said,
I can't wait.
On, Nick.
This is a saying that I say in Texas. Everybody say, I didn't know Canadian people were so cocky. I used to come in the gym when it was raining, pouring down raining. I used to walk in the gym with sunglasses on. They said, but it's raining. I said, man, listen, it might be pouring, it might be raining, dreary for you guys, but for me, my mind is sunny for my mind, right? That's what I tell everybody. And my very, 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 very worst day is you guys' very, very, very best day. So your best day is my worst day. Understand that? So no matter how bad my day is, it's like your worst day. I had that cockiness of no matter how bad I felt that I was going to have a better day than the other people that I was sparring with or fighting with or whatever. So if you have that mentality, no matter what happens, you're going to be better than somebody else that day. You got this.
You're going to rise.
Okay, rise.
You take care. You're going to rise.
On that note, thanks, guys. That's a great way to finish off the show.
Take care, gentlemen.
You guys, take care. We'll see you guys real soon. And thanks for watching, you folks at home.
Thank
you. Take care, everybody.
All right.
See you soon.
See you soon.